So good evening, guys. It's me, Melvin Wilson, back on Open Talks with Kampi Puttiri. With me, we have Prerna Jacob and Shreya Viji. You have given us a great support on our yesterday's premium live video. It was a huge support. So moving on with the continuation of that part, it's the second part. So let's move on to the video. We have the same guest with us today, TV Joshua sir and Feva Mariam Panikar. So moving on with the questions.
For this part, my first question to you is that how do you think lockdown affected teenagers?
Did you
So, sir, what's your
did it affected you really? Did it affected you really? Do you feel so? If it affected
yes,
any
sir.
manner, you can explain. Then we can discuss on subjects. Feel that does
Sir,
it affected you? Yeah.
So there
sir,
are many teenagers
as
these days
about
should I speak?
no,
Okay.
yeah, please.
There are many teenagers these days that are affected by not having a social life, and some or the other way they fall prey to depression and anxiety because of these reasons. So like because they are not able to communicate with a lot number of people, and they have this limited communication resource right now. So maybe that is like one of the reasons why.
I would tell you this is not a simple problem of teenage. This has affected everybody, every age group. Not able to communicate. Actually, you people are more on technical terms. I mean, through internet or even chatting through the internet. But you think of for me like persons, we used to have interactions in the park or somewhere. We used to talk. We used to walk. So that is cut off. So this sort of a problem in this lockdown is not only affecting the teenage; it is affecting everybody as such. Okay, it's not simply particular to you. Of course, you going to schools and interacting with children, with teachers, opening up with them, with peers and all, that definitely is giving, a lot of encouragement and regenerations in our day-to-day life. But this sort of a problem is not only affecting the teenagers, but everybody for that matter. Everybody for that. But you see, people who used to go to office, they are locked in a single room and to work on the computer for day long. Okay, even they cannot come out. Even our own people in the house. So this is not the time being. Yeah, you can. Maybe I can add to it.
Yeah, what's your opinion about this?
Sir is absolutely right when he's saying that lockdown is affecting all people of different age groups. He's absolutely correct. Why teenagers may feel that lockdown is affecting them particularly? The reason could be that teenage is the age where we want everything to be in our control. We want everything should be in our control, and lockdown is something which is not in our control. So especially when teenagers feel that things are going out of control, that is when they start feeling all these anxiety and all this different issues that come up, right? So maybe that could be why teenagers are feeling that we are the only ones who are affected. But definitely, as sir rightly said, all the age groups are affected. Even small children, very small children who used to go out to play, they are limited to their house. They're not even allowed to go to the balcony or things like that,
Yeah,
where areas are more affected, right? So all the age groups are equally being affected. So me or you as a teenager should should embrace the fact that it is a need of the hour, that we have to be inside, we can't do anything. But it's totally okay at the same time to feel all the negative feelings that you're feeling. But as we will be proceeding, we'll be talking about more things, so I'm sure we'll be finding out solutions for the same as well,
yeah.
right?
So, what do you think about online classes and there the relationship between a teenager to another teenager and a teenager to the teacher? So, sir, please.
Yeah, of
Confused.
course, this new system of online class I want that, and I hope that it should not continue for so long. It would be the need of the hour. We have no other way. But the government has adopted this, online classes. But this should not go. This should not continue. This say that interpersonal relationship matters a lot.
Yes, sir.
Okay, one-to-one relationship matters a lot. Interactions that is necessary for mental as well as mental development, that has to happen. So this should not continue for so long. See, although now there are a certain amount of people are advocating that the system of work at home is much convenient, sort of things can be saved. Similarly, even the schooling also, many things can be saved by resorting to these online classes. But there are a lot of shortcomings in this. First of all, that is lacking interpersonal relationship, interrelationship between the students mutually, as well as with their peers and as well as their mentors. So this should not continue. So we see maybe during this pandemic or maybe for some more time it may go, but it should not continue. It should not continue. That's what I feel. Yeah, it has adverse effects on the as a whole on the children.
Yeah. So, Favor
It
ma'am, what's
definitely
your
does.
opinion about this?
Online teaching is good, but to an extent, it cannot go on for a long time, as sir is saying, because it has health effects also. I have, when as I told you, I'm counseling students as well. So I recently got a call from a parent saying that the child is having eye problems, and because of which the child cannot sit for the classes for a long time. So even though it is a good thing, we can sit at our house and we can study, we can attend school, but in the long run and all, watching the online screen and just learning from that, we may not be able to, our health may affect really badly because of that. And also there are lots of, even today, students, the naughty students who don't wish to come to school today, they are also crying for school. They want to come back to school, right? That is the
Yeah, right.
condition. So the one thing which we used to hate so much, we all want to go back to it now. Even I'm saying that I want to go back to work. I don't want to sit at home. So that is the condition. When we had that, we were taking it for granted, and now online teaching, I'm sure very few people would be saying that we are enjoying online teaching or online learning, right? But there are lots
Yeah,
of
right.
people who are not comfortable with the idea of this online teaching. Also, they're not able to ask doubts to the teacher and clear their doubts and talk to the teacher. And teachers are busy with their phone only now, full time.
Yes.
Right.
In context of this only, my next question is that since now everything has become digitalized, from the classes to our assignments, it is possible for some sections of the society. Not every child has this facility. There's lack of facilities for many people. And also keeping in mind of the example, the suicide case that happened in Kerala, where a girl committed suicide because she couldn't attend her class. For some, it is definitely a struggle. So, how do you think these problems can be solved, at least for the pandemic period? Because you've answered the opposite of what that is. So, for the pandemic period, what do you think? How can you help those children?
It is
So please
affecting.
answer. I'll be back.
Yeah, it is affecting the student as well as the teachers as a whole, as far as the study is concerned. You mentioned about that suicide by a student for not having the facility of online. Maybe
Yes.
maybe the reasons may be different, but of course, to create infrastructure facilities for everybody, for every nook and corner of the India is not possible. So we have not gone to that level. Okay, so as I said, this limited way, this is okay for some time, maybe for a month or so, but we cannot continue this system of online teaching for so long. This is not beneficial to neither students nor the teachers who are teaching. See, as such, as I said, as for the the schools are not the major chunk of schools are in the villages. Since see our major chunk of people are also living in the villages, and the schools are there. These sort of infrastructure facilities are not reached them. So that cannot, this online system and all cannot go to them. So they're all suffering. So we cannot think of having this of a modern system of schooling or online teaching for so long. It is only a limited period requirement. Maybe we can continue for a month or so. Thereafter, we have to go for classes. We have to live with this pandemic or epidemic, taking care of the safety aspects. Okay, fine.
Right. So, but
Yeah, you can add.
again, in
Yeah,
that same
tell me. Yeah.
context,
Yeah.
not everyone not having the facilities understood, but for those children in the villages, they are not able to get that, right? So they're 1 year, almost a year, half a year at least now, is spoiled. So if in case you were in that situation as a teacher, how would you
You do
help?
one thing. See, this is a sort of a situation has arisen because of the pandemic. And had
Right.
you been in a situation you are not, and as a whole, it is affecting the whole lot, not only simply you. When you are in a class and you are affected with some jaundice or some sort of disease which is affecting for 6 months or 9 months, what would you do? You have no option but to absent from school. Okay. So a similar situation has come, not for a single one, for all the whole lot of children. It has to be taken in that sense. It has to be accepted in that manner. Some amount of
So,
classes, we lose some amount of classes. We do see classes and learnings for some time. Some, you see, those who are able to get this online connectivity, they are able to get the teachings or the learnings, but others, they are missing it. So some, see, as a whole, if you see in India, major chunk of people are not getting see this facility of education in this pandemic time, and they are suffering. Yeah, you are
so
asking something.
yes, sir. So I was asking you, sir, in case of any diseases, if someone is affected from typhoid or any other diseases, so they will have to suffer. But what the school does is they try to provide him with the facilities that he can manage or cope up with his studies and his curricular activities. So I'm asking you, sir, what can schools now do in this time?
Many of the teachers are supplying the materials to the students who are not able to make it. The class teachers mostly are in touch with the students, and regularly they're keeping a track of who is attending, who is not attending. Some can attend, but they are not attending. So what they're doing is they're reaching out and they're asking, why are you not able to attend? And some have genuine issues, as you're saying. Some have this network issues, and some may not have internet access. But still, what teachers try to do is they send the material, whatever material has been done and covered in the class, they send it. Or these students also take it from their classmates, whatever has been done in the class. And teachers are sharing, I'm sure in many schools are sharing a lot of videos, e-learning materials, PPTs, these kind of things which are helping the students cope up with these things. So even if they're not able to attend the classes, they can go through these materials. But to an extent, I can say that even the brilliant bacha bhi will be affected a lot by this method of teaching, because it is not the most efficient way of teaching. You can combine video teaching with your classroom teaching, but this in itself is not the most efficient way of teaching.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
So all what we can do is have a hope that this pandemic gets over really soon. So
Let us all pray, pray. See, so that this is this is taken away at the earliest from the midst of this whole world. That's all we can do. Let us hope a better world tomorrow. Yeah, it is not only affecting everybody. Those who are waiting for IAS, ICS examinations all got shifted.
Plus,
So
you guys
the whole
also,
year,
I think you've given
the
your
whole year has been
exam,
wasted.
no?
So
You've just
this is not
declared
affecting
board
only the
exams.
teenagers, everybody for that matter. The whole life, everybody has been got affected. Yeah.
Okay, so the next question is that bullying or
So-
teasing has become an eminent issue among teenagers these days, and because of this, like, how does it affect their behavior, and what are the ways to eradicate bullying and teasing? Ma'am?
Eradicating bullying can never be possible. I think bullying is there from Sir's time only. Bullying is something which is going on since a
Time
long time.
immemorial, yeah.
Because bullying को fully eradicate karna is not a possible thing, because earlier what used to happen, we used to have only bullies in our school and we used to come back home. But now, because you have your social platforms, you have complete online access. Now bullies are there online as well. So they're following you all the way till your home as well. So bullying is not just limited to you coming to school and there you're just seeing your bully, but bully is there virtually also present, waiting for you on online platforms as well. So bullying is something which cannot be eradicated, but we can sensitize students as well as teachers about bullying and what needs to be looked out for and what needs to be spread as in terms of awareness. I'm sure Sir can also agree with this. Sir must have seen a lot of cases of bullying as well.
Yeah, I would say that that would remain. There are people who are always out to tease, out to trouble others. Of course. But what you need to be careful about is should not become a victim of such things. Okay, so this may happen to anybody anytime, but be careful that you don't fall into the trap of such kind of miscreant acts. You should be able to recognize to what extent one can undergo such kind of bullying. That should not lead to a stage where you are trapped into. I mean to say that you can cause many psychological aspects, psychological problems in you. Okay, so we need to be very careful about it. Something of the sorts are happening, then you should discuss with your other peers, or even with your elders or teachers for that matter. When it is, you can accommodate. There is a limit of accommodating certain things, this thing. To that extent, okay, fine. If you feel that it is going beyond that, even it could be even this social media also. These days, cyberbullying is very prevalent. That can lead to even many have gone into even suicidal attempts also committed just because of this reason. So you need to what you need to do is recognize the idea behind or the motive behind such people who attempt to do that, and be safe from those attempts and control yourself. And if something of that happens which I cannot be controlled by you, then bring the teachers or the parents into picture. That is the way you can handle those things. Okay, but don't ever become victims to such kind of bullying. Okay, yeah. Otherwise, it is not possible to eradicate. You have to live with it.
Even when you start working, or even when you go out into the real world, you'll find a lot of bullies. What you need to learn is to stand up to them and be more stronger, and always inform, as Sir rightly said, always inform whoever is the authority or whoever, somebody you can trust about what is going on. Get help. That is the most important point if something like this is happening.
Okay, according to me, what I think that bullying is to show dominance over others. So is that right?
So you see, when you used to go to colleges also after school, you used to face ragging sort of a thing, that used to be very prevalent. But some colleges have banned such activities because some students could not withstand that and even committed suicide. But to some extent, this used to be good in the sense to interact with people, to socialize with each other. That helped. Even know each other, that helped but to some level which is manageable and okay. That which is fine. But if it is going beyond harassing somebody physically, harassing somebody mentally, to the extent of even leaving the college, that sort of thing you should recognize. Then if that is happening, don't bear it to yourself. Immediately bring to the notice of the authorities, and they will find solution to it. They will definitely take, precaution to such things. Don't keep it to yourself. Don't try to suffer or, bear it to yourself. As teacher said, bring it to the notice of others as and when things are going beyond your control. Okay.
But
So
again, when we bring it to notice, like
Yeah.
when we inform the officials or any elders, we are prone, whoever is being bullied is more prone to get bullied more. They'll be threatened not to do something or not to tell the officials, and if they do so, its own consequences. So
Prerna, I
It
will tell
depends on
you,
how.
you have to, first of all, you have to stand firm. You have to identify yourself. You have to have confidence in you itself. If you stand firm, nobody on earth can just bully you all the time. Okay, to some minimal amount, okay, fine, everybody may face. But if you are stern, you are firm enough to stand before anybody for that matter, I don't think anybody will continue to do that. Okay, have confidence in yourself. If something of the sort is happening, definitely there are people who can handle things very well. So don't have that fear that no, again that boy or girl will come and do something this way, that way. No, don't have any apprehensions like that. So it may, to some extent, it may be there, but you have to face it. Okay, but at the same time, don't face solely by yourself. Bring our authorities into the matter when you cannot face those things yourself. I think you
so
can add.
my question is to both of you, as you both suggested to stand strong or stand straight. I want to ask you that here, if we are showing more reaction to what they try to dominate us, so or we are letting them to rag us more or bully us more.
It is not allowing them to rag you more or bully you more. See, I will tell you, for example, somebody is advancing you, making some advancements to you. To some extent, you may go with it, enjoy it. If you feel beyond that, definitely you can be stern. You say, no, don't be with me like that. Don't behave with me like that. The moment they understand that you are so firm and you stand against those, they will definitely going to attempt again. That depends the way you react. That depends the way you see that sort of a person's actions and activities. Okay, so you have to tackle the different situation, different manner. Everything will every sort of a thing won't work everywhere, right? Feva may add to this.
No, you're correct, sir. Actually, it depends on how the situation is handled, right? Some maybe the person that you inform may directly go and ask the bully, which may not be right. There is a way to go about it, the proper way in which maybe making that person can help you be more stronger to stand in front of the bully, right? The method needs to be looked at both. Also, bullying, you may ignore bullying for some time, but how long will you keep on ignoring? If it becomes very persistent, if it is too much, it's right there in front of your face, and every day you're fearing to go to school or you're fearing to go to your workplace or your college, then it is definitely a problem. You need to address it. Today it's one bully, tomorrow it will be 10 bullies, right? If we let that one bully get to us, we are letting 10 others also, we are giving the opportunity for them to come and get us, right? So we need to learn to be strong. It is a journey. It does not happen overnight. You'll not get the strength to be really strong, but with the right set of people with you, with the right your peer group, your teachers, somebody to support you, I'm sure you'll be able to overcome this particular issue. But don't deal with it alone, as sir said. You're not alone in this. You have to get help.
First of all, you think that they are also students like you. They also come from maybe different atmosphere, different situations, different learnings. So, but they are students like you, of your age. Okay, so you are not supposed to be fearsome about those. They also come to study. So, for every action, there is a limit for them also. How far they can go. They may have some sort of a gimmicks. They may play with you, but they will subside those actions as and when they come to know the actions would be taken against them. and they would be if not be spared for their actions. So first of all, they are also students who have come to study with you only, or for that matter, wherever you are there, maybe in the college or for that matter. So accordingly, you can deal with them. First of all, they are your co-students, and have that in mind. There is a limit. Anybody for one can go to what extent of bullying, that you can understand and then react accordingly. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, if moving off this, cyber addiction is also another area in which teenagers are triggered. Lockdown is a fact has in fact has increased this addiction. How do you think teenagers should divert their attention from technology to other things?
Should I say they for you this techno savvy activity is not the only one at your home. Okay, you can
Yes,
indulge
sir.
yourself in so many other activities. I've been asking my Sunday school students, what are you doing this during this lockdown periods? Are you helping your mother? Are you helping to clean the house? Are you doing gardening with available space you have? If your pets, are you making them to walk? Do some walking, do some meditation, do some exercises. So you can vent out your sort of, your anxieties or sort of use of time in these activities. Not only that, you all the time spend before the TV, or even the computer, and go into the internet and spend your time. That is not the only solution. Okay, to some extent, 5-10 minutes, you are already having your time for study and all. You have to be indulging in that. Besides that, I don't think you have enough time. And also, I will add one more thing. You select good books. During my younger age, there was no TV or there was no, computer or internet like that. I used to spend my time in reading. I used to select good story books wherever I could get. I had no money, but still I used to go to the library and hire books from there. And I used to read lot many books till I probably married. Thereafter, I didn't get much of time to read much. So reading is the best habit, best hobby that you can do. And then you can indulge yourself into many activities like that. Okay. Yeah, this group discussion that you arranged, it is one of the best time pass for you, and also learning many things in that. So you can spend time mostly with these kind of things, not simply going to bullying through cyber bullying and all. Be cautious in that. You have to have you should know your limit, and you should first of all know which family you are belonging to. You should know your parents. You should listen to them, help them in the household things. So you can spend time very well, I think, in this lockdown time. I think Biba, as a student as well as a teacher, can add to this.
Definitely, everything has its pros and cons, right? So uh, coming online and social media, everything has its pros and cons. But in such a situation like lockdown, I'm sure since we get limited, I'm seeing that in my own house itself, all three of us are sitting in different corners, father, mother, me, all are sitting with our phones at times. But what we can do is, it's a necessary evil. It is going to be there. But we have to assert that we have to limit ourselves. We have to draw the boundary somewhere. Like if I'm already attending online classes, then where do I limit my consumption of online stuff? Do I do it for 2-3 hours a day, or do I limit it to even more time? So it's upon me what decision I take and how I want to go about it. So it's totally your choice what you do with social media. When you go to social media, you can either use it in a productive way, or you can go about being destructive with social media too. So as a consumer or as a user of social media, what are you watching, as well as what are you uploading, or what content you are giving out? All that matters a lot. So what choice, whenever you upload something, also remember that whatever is on social media stays on social media. No matter you delete it, you don't delete it, it's already there. Once you load it, it's like a blueprint. It's there even if you delete it. So it's recorded in the internet forever. So make sure that whenever you're using this technology, as I said, it has health effects as well. It affects your health adversely as well. So you have to make sure that your consumption of social media or your consumption of online time is reduced, so that you don't, as sir rightly said, you can pursue hobbies as well. This is the apt time for it. You have so much time on your hands to do whatever you want. You can learn to cook, you can learn to some of them are doing gardening as well, some are cutting their own hair, lots of different things that you can do right now. So you can come up with creative ways. For example, you guys started this talk show, this Kambi Putre, your different making videos and all this. That's in itself, it's a different thing. So you can come up with creative ideas to spend lockdown.
See, you need
Yeah,
to
thank
be
you.
very, very careful. Don't fall prey to the tricky, this many the programs in the internet. So be careful. Don't fall prey to those things. Even this bullying. To some extent, it is fine. There are peers or your friends maybe alluring you to certain things which is not desirable, undesirable things. So you have to draw a line to up to which level I can go. Okay, to some extent, everything is fine, and they may allure you for certain things. Thereafter, that they will even threaten you for falling into their, sort of activities that they intend to. So you need to be careful about it. You are not a small child now. You can recognize, you can identify what is wrong and what is right. Okay, you have information you can gather from gather yourself as well as you can learn from your parents as well as. But as I said initially, you believe in your parents and your teachers. Discuss problems with them whenever you feel that such kind of things are happening. Always discuss the problems with parents. Don't think that they are, they are not techno savvy or they are of the older generation. Maybe that they may not be that techno savvy, but they are experienced. They have gone through all these phases of life. They can better advise you. So have faith in your parents. That's what I have to repeatedly tell you. Okay. Yeah.
Sir, but as you have already said, that we use our phones, our laptops, and every other technological things right now these days, because like the time asks us to do. Like we have to upload our assignments. We had to
Fine.
at present we have to type it and then mail it.
Fine.
So we spend more time on screens
Yeah.
rather than books. Like we can't purchase books right now.
Yeah.
Like that, even though, yeah. So like that
But
also.
when your parents scold you for that, what is the problem?
Yeah, they do. Like they think always we spend our time on mobile phones, but like no differentiation. Like earlier when we used to use our phones, it was for recreation.
Yeah.
But right now both of them is mixed and they don't understand
No.
Okay, what
I
we are
will tell
doing.
you,
So
you are feeling so. They are not fools to understand what you are doing in your computer or what you are doing in your mobile. See, from your face, from your talking, from your body language, they can understand what exactly you are doing. Whether you are studying or you are doing some sort of unwanted activities in the mobile or in the TV, in the computer. Okay, they can understand you are their child. They know very well what you are and what extent and what and all you can do. Okay, so they can understand. So don't try to befool them. If you are been studying in the internet or the phone or even computer, they will give you enough time for that matter. I don't think they will interfere in that. I see at times they may see. The problem is that at times they may scoop come in and check. That probability is there always. So see, they are your parents. They may come and see what you are doing. So accommodate them for that matter. Don't think that my papa mummy is doubting on me or just spying on me. So they should not have done like that. So they are your parents. They want that always you go in the right path. For ensuring that they may have a interference in your probably studies as well as what you are doing. So try to accommodate in that sense. Otherwise, they very well will understand that what you are doing in mobile or even TV, or for that matter, how many hours you need to spend for study as well, and how many hours you talk to other students for study material or other general issues. Okay, so be accommodative. I think Feba as an young teacher can guide you better for that matter.
No, you're right, sir. They have the right to look at whatever we are doing, where we are sitting. It's better if you sit with your devices in front of them and keep doing the work so that they know. See, you have to understand that this quarantine situation or this lockdown situation is something new for them as well. They may not understand so easily that this is how the present teaching is going on. They may not understand the fact. When I was in college, I still remember when I used to say I'm sending my assignments, it was the same case. It's like that everywhere. But we need we need to give them time to adjust to the fact that okay, some of the assignments will be happening online, and because the situation is a new situation, we need to give them time to accept the fact that recreation is also happening. I'm sure many of your parents are also spending more time on their phones right now compared to the amount of time that they were spending before, because naturally there is nothing else to do. The only source of information is through the phone. The only source of socializing is through the phone. There is nothing else to do. So generally, I'm sure some of your parents will be understanding the fact also, and even my mother does not say anything right now for me using the phone, because she understands that this is how things are happening right now. So we have to give them the chance to wrap their head around this idea that this is how things are going to be, at least for this year, because things may not normalize for school going college children at least till September. So we are not sure when things are going to get back to normal, or what normal is going to be. Will it be the same as it used to be earlier or not? So we have to make changes in ourselves too. So it has to come from both, from the students as well and from the parents as well. I've seen so many people sitting with their children when they're doing their online classes. They sit with them and they see the classes that are happening. They see how the teachers are teaching. All that is also happening. Give your parents also the space to get involved in your studies, to see what you're doing, so that they know that what you're doing is the right thing, that you're not doing anything wrong, so that they can trust you more. And once they're sure that you're not doing anything wrong, they will give you the space to do a little bit more freedom. I'm sure of that.
So anything more on that subject?
Right.
No, sir.
I think
I
we'll
know
move
this
on.
is a very serious subject. Everybody is having problem in that. That is the quarrel. That is the fight between parents and the teenagers. So they feel that the parents are interfering in their privacy. I mean, that is a real problem. But
And
you have
everyone
to,
staying at home, fights would be increasing now.
yeah, every, so you have to accommodate them as well. Think that they are for my well-being, for my better life tomorrow. They are interfering, so accommodate them in that way. Okay, they are also a little bit educated. Treat them as educated, and think that they can understand me, understand what I am doing. But only thing is that don't try to hide anything from them. When you sit in a closed room for hours together, they may have fear. Are what my son, my daughter is doing? Maybe something wrong. Something wrong might have happened. So don't give a chance to them to think in that terms. Be little bit open. Discuss those things. Mama, मैं ये study करने जा रहा हूँ. It may take 1 hour. Fine. She won't 1 hour, 1.5 hours. She will not interfere. So discuss those things with them. They can also understand. You are in 12th class or even going to college, or college is not a teenage now. College, you are above teenage. So you are, as a student, I mean the school students, you can discuss with them. They can understand your problems very well. So primarily, have confidence in them, your parents. That's what I have to tell you again and again. Okay.
Right. So even though we discussed that a lot of us, especially teenagers, should not spend a lot of time on social media and all, my next question is that we tend to get addicted to social media, right? Because obviously we do not it's an easy solution for us. We don't want to spend hours reading a book. If you can get that in a movie, in the form of a movie, that's what we'll prefer. We don't want to spend hours just reading the book. That's an example. So when many of us get addicted, we also get triggered with a lot of issues. Melvin, would you like to?
So what seems nowadays is that outrage. There's a lot of outrage in social platforms, even including YouTube and Instagram, on different types of social media. There's an outrage by teenagers, and there are a lot of hatred spread through comments on hot social issues. So, what's your opinion
As a
about this?
counselor, like as a counselor, what steps do you suggest for
See, I would
overcoming all these?
suggest, see, there's a lot of hate in the world. Yes, there is a lot of hate. But the same thing which we say with our words, whatever we say, we have to be careful. Same thing goes for comments. Whatever you're commenting, you have to be very careful with what you're commenting, because
Right.
whatever we write and we post, we're doing it in that one go. We are impulsively doing that. And teenagers are the most impulsive people, right? Because they don't take time to think, and they just, the first thought which comes to their mind without filter, they just put it out. And social media is giving us a platform to put out our thoughts without thinking about it. But remember that whatever you are saying or whatever you're commenting, whatever you're putting up, is being read by another person, as that person has feelings, and that person may get affected by it too. If you're only thinking about
Yeah,
ourselves and just spewing all this hate, then we are not thinking about the other person who's reading that particular comment, and how that person must be. The basic thing is to promote empathy, to put yourselves in the shoes of the other person and think that if this comment was being read by me, on the other hand, how would I feel? What would this comment make me feel? Would I like it if somebody post the same words on me, or on my picture or something like that? So I have to be careful with whatever words I say or whatever things are being posted. It's easy to uplift people by saying positive words, but it's even more easier to pull down people by saying all sorts of negative words. And negative words hurt more than positive words. Positive words pe koi dhyan nahi deta. One out of 100, if one person even criticizes you and the other 99 say positive things about you, you'll still look at the one person who said negative about you and try to change the thoughts of that one person. So negative comments affect people a lot. So whatever, as a teenager, whenever, my personal advice to you would be, whenever you're commenting or on other people's things or anything, be very careful of the words that you choose and the way that you're putting words. Especially, I'm seeing a lot of abuses when it comes to comments. I've read a lot of comments on social issues and all that, and this is not just teenagers who are spewing hatred. There are lots of older people as well and younger people as well who are spewing a lot of hatred when it comes to comments. And some of the comments are unreadable, totally unreadable. And when you read them, you feel very bad that this is how people are treating each other. So this is where we need to change ourselves. Maybe 10 people changing will not be much of a difference, but it still is some difference, right? I'm sure sir would like to add to the same thing.
No, I didn't understand that question very well. If you are talking about this socio-religio-politico hatred subjects, then you're not supposed to follow those things. I mean,
so not even that, sir. Even though if we are uploading some content online on any platforms, any social platform, what happens there is there are some sort of people who uh, who are there to spread hatred through social media. Let that be anything, whether it's a political or a social topic. They are spreading hatred all over this. So we are asking you that way, not just socially or not just politically. Even there was a case reported where a 87 old grandma was there. She was going to lose her life due to this hate comments which was coming from comments of YouTube. So your opinion about that, please.
naturally, see, if you are, going into this internet and becoming addicted to that, as you said, the first question was, let us be careful that we don't get addicted to any of such things. Primarily, see, we get addicted to many things. Even if we read something for hours together, and even I have been going through one serial Bold and Beautiful, probably a Turkish serial. That was 101 series of episodes were there. I've been taking much of time and going through it, and my even grandchildren used to tease me. What, grandpa, what are you doing? See, you are spending almost all time in your computer. So all at all ages, this addiction is a problem for all ages, of course. But we have to control ourselves according to our time available and our need and our as a student, you have to be careful more on your studies. There are many things would be available in the computer and the internet. Primarily pornography. So you tend to go into such sites, but you are not supposed to. Okay, you are free to go, but you are not supposed to. Similarly, there would be many other things coming up in the computer or in the internet. Not necessarily that you have to go also, so you have to go through all those things and respond to that or take that into heart and act or react. Okay, so this world, this internet world is so wide. Anything, anytime is available at a fingertip. So it is for you to choose what is best for you. Okay, going through it or understanding that for the sake of knowledge, fine. But beyond that, if you are going beyond that if it is to affect psychologically or mentally or spiritually, you have to have a discipline, or you have to put a line where up to which level you have to go. That is only up to you. Nobody can have any control over that. Even if I am coming as a parent, I am coming interfering during that time, you may not like it. It is only you. See, likewise, I will tell you, a drunkard. See, nobody on earth can correct him or to withdraw him from that. It is only if he takes a decision on his own level, then only he can come out of it. It is his confidence, will, that only can work. Anybody may try a number of times. Maybe he may be taken to such de-addiction centers. He will come back and do the same thing again. Nobody can, on earth, so many people may be going to church and hearing all sorts of daily speeches, but no effect is upon those people. It is only you who can decide what is best for you, what is not. So many things would be in the internet which is not healthy, which is not good for you. It is only you have to choose what is best for you. Nobody on earth can advise you. Only we can give some general information, what is good and what is not. Okay, even what went wrong to Adam and Eve. So everything was available. What should not have done, that they did. So the sin came into picture in the world. We all were doomed in that. Okay, so availability is there. The knowledge and the wisdom is given to you. Consciousness is there. Everything, that consciousness of what is good and what is bad also is given to you by God gift, as a God gift. So it is now for you to choose what is best and what is not best. Nobody on earth can strictly put a control on you. Okay, it is you as an individual have to decide that. Fine.
So thank you
But
for your
sir, it is
suggestions.
not
Yeah, tell me, Prerna.
it is not necessarily that just because a person is addicted, he or she is getting hate comments. So what if I talk to my group in context to my group, when we see any issue happening or when something is happening on social media, the natural tendency for us to voice our opinion is to comment on that, or probably text them of any kind of way, right? So it's not necessary that we are addicted to it.
See, commenting on anything what is coming up in the internet is not necessary for you. If it is subject matters of your study, fine, you should go about it. If it is some political issue coming up, you are not supposed to answer to that. You don't know, because it is not your baby. If some religious sort of interpretations are to take place, it is not your baby. Don't enter into that. Okay. What you need to do, you see what subject matter is coming up there for study material. As a study material, what can add to your knowledge, do that only. See, anything may come there. I watch so many writings of so many people. but it doesn't mean I reply to all of them. Whatever they say is okay or not okay. It is not my baby to comment upon that.
So let's move on to the last question. The rate of teenage suicides have increased drastically. Do you think it's because of uh, added pressure from the society? Pressure from the society.
That's a serious issue that you said now. Yeah, Sheba.
Suicides have been going on since a long time, yes, and they are increasing now. Could be, see, pressure from the society could just be one factor, but it's not. It's a very personalized. Whatever the problem is, the problem must be very personalized to the person. That the person finally took the decision of committing suicide. But we cannot just say that it would be just the societal pressure. It could be one added factor which is pushing the person to take that step, but there could be a lot of, some people lose their jobs and they commit suicide. Some people are not able to provide for their family. Some may not score well in their exams, and everything is in a way connected to societal pressure. But more importantly, the thing that we should be focusing on is to yes, suicides are happening, but what can be done to not to prevent them from happening? That should be our concern, rather than why these are happening. Yes, they are happening. Why is definitely an important factor, but prevention, awareness, and helping people who are affected is more important when it comes to suicide. And especially you teenagers can do that by being a good friend and being there for whoever is thinking of such thoughts. That is how you can help out.
Also,
Yeah.
if
Right.
yes, sir, please.
Yeah, you see, and to add to it, yeah, I want to add to it. You see, actually, this teenage is a transition period for you. Okay, along with that is a very sensitive uh, time for you. I mean, and vulnerable period as such. So, see, and the society understands that, the parents understand that. Okay, parents wherever is not understanding is a problem. They have to cope up with your the hormonal changes taking place in you, and the psychological or mental state that you are in because of this. I mean, your state, and the parents very well should understand that, and the society you are in also must understand that state of your being in. Okay, so only thing what you need to do is open up with your parents, as I said. That is very, very necessary. The problems that you are having, well, see, that that those problems should not lead you to a depression sort of a problem. Okay, if the parents, see, the parents should be able to understand your state. I would say that. So see that those things are, you must be having sort of a problem. I mean, physical problem may arise in you. Maybe psychological problems may arise in you physically, in the sense unwanted headaches, stomach aches, or even uneasiness, not getting enough sleep, or more sleep, or the angry mood for no matter. So sorts of things can come up in you that your see, hormonal changes happening in you may happen, but the parents and the siblings with you have to cooperate with you. Okay, that is very essential, and you should discuss your problem with your parents as well. See what and all sorts of problem you are having. See, a girl who is entering into a menstrual stage, have lot of problems of her own. Similarly, a boy who is having testosterone surge have his own problems. Okay, but don't hesitate to discuss problem with your parents. They all come through this stages and they know very well the problems with you. So don't think that this problem is just your own, that just this is all your problem only. This is the problem of the whole world, whole people of your age. So don't get into traps. Okay, so don't go for any peer advices. They may be good, they may not be wrong. They may give wrong advice to you. to go this way, go that way, go for such kind of a treatment like that, this, that, or I may do like this, you may be all right for that. Don't go for such things. If you are entering into such kind of, traps, then you will be allured into such kind of situations and you will go more into more depressive mood. So be careful about that. Whatever problems that you are facing, discuss with your parents, open up with them. They would be able to understand your problem. And when you are going to schools, discuss your problem with the most trusted teachers you have. Okay. So I don't think you can face any problem of that. You can come to that stage anyway. But as Febaji said, there are many reasons a child may go into such kind of a drastic situation. By simply, if the parent scolds you, I don't think that is a usual scolds you may go and commit suicide. No, may not happen. But you should understand, you are a very valuable child for your parents as well as the society that you are in. You have been brought up to this stage by your parents in such a way that they have spent everything for you. Their day and night, they are working for you, they are spending their day and night for you, they are living for you. So you don't think of bringing any sort of pain to them in that way. Okay, trust them, discuss with them any problem that is coming up, or don't think that others would be able to help you. Don't ever think that. Others may help you, may not help you, but your parents are the best people whom can come to your rescue all the time. Okay, so
if
allay all these fears from your mind.
So if paraphrasing it, everything what we discussed today, whether it is cyberbullying or about suicides or about relationship between teachers and teenagers, everything we have in common is we have to discuss it with our elders, parents, and we have to open up and discuss it.
Yes, you are right. You are right.
Definitely, you have to get help. See, each of these topics that we talked about today, they are broad, very big topics. We cannot cover all of them in just one discussion, because we've touched upon lots of topics. We need definitely more time is needed to go about these topics. But the one thing which you can take away from all this is that whenever you're feeling any kind of pressure, people are there to help you out. Because as it is, you're in a confusing state as a teenager, but there are people who are willing to help you out. All you have to do as a person is just to ask for help. It's very simple. You have to ask for help. You have to approach the person.
Approach
So
reliable
finally,
person. Yeah.
So finally, could you suggest parents and teachers and those teachers and teenagers, those who are watching this video, what will be your suggestion?
Keeping in mind of all the topics that we've discussed, all the challenges that
My suggestion is
teenagers
that
face
you have started a very good program. As a teenager, if you have started such a program, so I feel that you are not having any sort of a problem like lockdown confusion, nor any suicidal sort of a problem, nor you are very fit and you are knowledgeable. You know all these problems, you can handle yourself. Okay, so handle yourself as a matured person. What is the reference? You need to be matured as well as you should feel responsible also. So you are growing up. Okay, you see, earlier I will tell you, of your age, after 13, 12, 13, girls used to get married and to take the whole responsibility of the household. Okay, but nowadays the marriage age has been increased from 18 to 18, isn't it?
Yes,
18
sir.
or 21
Yes, sir.
boys, 21 boys like that. So it is illegal for getting married before that. Otherwise, our earlier times, the girls used to get married and to take the whole responsibility of the household. So getting involved in the household things will be more of, you are entertaining yourself in a very, healthy manner as a teenager or even in your growing up stage. All the best from my side.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. Thank
My suggestion would be to whoever is watching this or hearing this video is that make sure that you are more resilient. Life is going to throw lots of challenges at you, and especially if this year 2020 is any witness to that, we are seeing lots of things which we have never seen before, right? We are going through a lot of challenges that none of us are prepared for, and I'm sure more and more challenges will be coming, but we have to be more and more resilient. We have to stand firm in our beliefs and be good people in our faith. We have to follow everything that our parents have taught us and whatever we stand for, and make sure that if you are going through anything, as we have already discussed, get help and ask for help, and live your life to the fullest as much as possible.
So thank you both for your participation in this podcast. We appreciate your presence here. So thank you.
We would appreciate
Thank you so much,
discuss.
guys, for inviting
Yeah,
us.
you can continue with this program with many other people, and invite us also to watch. At least we would enjoy that. Okay.
Yes.
Yes,
Good.
sir.
Thank
I
you.
Thank you,
appreciate your. I
Thank you.
appreciate
Thank
your
you.
effort. I appreciate your effort.
With this, we come to an end of our podcast. Thank you for watching till end of our video. If you did like it, please comment down below and share your opinions about our podcast. And we will be coming back with next podcast soon. So this is Melvin Wilson with Prerna Jacob and Shreya Vijay signing off from Open Talks with Kambi Putri. Stay tuned to Kambi Putri for more sparkling events.